Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay friends, in today's video I'm going to show you how I figured out how to get the cartridge out of this Moen shower faucet here. So let's back up a step. This broke off, you can see right here, which makes it really hard to get that cartridge out. But I'll kind of take it step by step. I've done a few steps here and I know I'm going to be successful, but it took me a few tries, so hopefully I can save you a few minutes. So I went ahead and took this outer piece off, although I know some of the videos are saying you don't have to. The inner piece, by the way, so I took that off. This little inner piece that's supposed to slide off easily, mine had water corrosion, so it's a little bit harder to do. And then I did not have like the knob here that I could pull out like some other people are doing. So I had a couple different techniques that seemed to work pretty good. So one of the most important parts is to remember to take this little bracket out. And I already loosened it, but this pin must come out for this cartridge to pull out. Knob here that I could pull out like some other people are doing. So I had a couple different techniques that seemed to work pretty good. Is number one, I use this penetrating lubricant to try to loosen up this cartridge that's in here a little bit. That definitely seemed to help out. The second thing I did is I got a drill, like this guy right here, and I used a bit that would work well with a 3-inch screw that I've got right here. I drilled it right down the center and went in about a ½ an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Took a little bit of time to drill it out. And then I also used, make sure you've got a good screw gun, something like this guy right here. I'll put a link to all these tools I'm using down in the description so you can check them out. But anyway, so I drilled it out about 3/4 of an inch, and then I put this screw into it, and then this is the little setup I used for leverage. So here's what I did is I used a hammer here just to put a little bit of back pressure on that water pipe. I want to make sure I don't damage those. Then I'm going to use a pair of channel locks right here, and I'm going to use a second pair. And what I'm trying to do is figure out a way to grab onto that screw tightly, but at the same time, I don't want to just pull straight out. I want to try to use some leverage. So I'm using this, and then I'm going to grab my screw just like this right here, and I'm going to clamp down and just use a little bit of pressure. Now I know it already loosened a little, so I know this is going to work. And now the cartridge, there it is, inch by inch, little by little. So this is a good technique. And then if you watch, I'm just going to use my other channel locks, and I'm going to move them up just a little bit, and then I'll grab again right here, and I'm just using the channel lock against channel lock, and you can see down here that I've got lots of leverage now. So if you scoot the camera back a little bit, so I can use this leverage to help me pull it right on out. So now I'll use my channel locks and just move them down a little bit. I'll use the same technique, and I'm grabbing the screw, but I'm using the leverage. So channel lock against channel lock right here, using the screw head, and that's what's giving me the leverage to pull it right on out of there. There you go, there it comes. Come on, baby. Go down a little bit more. So just adjusting it, and then again, that's where all that leverage comes from, and gently and firmly pulling that cartridge out of there. Yay, there it is, yay. Yahoo! There's the inside of the pipe right there. Looks like it's still in good condition, and I'll kind of feel in there and make sure that there's no rough edges. And then again, there's my cartridge right there. You can see I screwed it in deep enough that it is, you know, the screw probably goes to about right there where my thumbnail is, and I screwed it in good. So you'll need a screw gun if you're gonna do this. You're not gonna be able to put in that screw by hand. But I got that cartridge out, and I'll take that cartridge to the hardware store and replace that turkey. Yahoo! All right, I've got my new piece here. Mine's the Moen 1222. You can see it lines up, matches, looking good. So on the instructions, it says to get this little packet of lubricant, and you kind of swish it around on this black part right here. Okay, now I'm gonna put the new piece in, and by the way, it says hot and cold. You can see it right there, H and C. So I want that up, obviously. And then it should slide right in. There we we go. So all the way down and seated. Okay, the cartridge is in, and by the way, it needs to be all the way pushed in, and there's my hot and cold on top. Now this pin goes right in here, and mine went in pretty easily, but it does have to go all the way down. So that's seated in perfectly. Awesome. So I fast forward a little bit and just put this stuff back together. Hey, this is the easy part. If you don't know how to do this, just look at the instructions that came on the cartridge. But this is the main reason I showed this video, is just to show that if this little piece breaks off here, that you could drill it out and then use some kind of an impact drill to drill in a screw. And then I showed you that little leverage trick so that you can carefully pull this thing out without breaking any of the water pipes behind the wall or breaking any of the tile that's on this outside. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. Bye for now.